I would argue that you and I and every Christian should read the Old Testament because it gives us a so much greater context of who God is. If you truly want to know God and who He is, which some of the purposes of us living here on earth is to know Him and to make Him known. If you truly want to know Him, you need to read the Old Testament. When you read the Old Testament, you get to learn so much more about God. We don't just get to learn about God in the New Testament, we also get so much context of who God is in the Old Testament. In fact, in the Old Testament, we get to learn about God's holiness, we get to learn about His love and mercy, we get to learn about His faithfulness, we get to learn about God's justice, we get to learn about God's sovereignty, and we get to learn about God's plan of redemption. And we're going to talk about some of these points in this video. First of all, God's plan of redemption. What redemption are we talking about? I don't know who, but someone answered the question, what is wrong with the world, into 3 points. God made it, man broke it, Jesus fixed it. So what is wrong with the world? It's not God. It's not Jesus, who is God, right? He is God. What is wrong with the world? It is sin. God created this world good, but mankind's rebellion against God brought sin, suffering, and death into this world. So God made it, right? He made the universe, and we see that in the Old Testament. Man broke it. Adam and Eve, they ate from the fruit of the tree. So Adam and Eve rebelled against God, and sin entered into the world. And now we needed someone to fix this problem we had, right? Jesus was the one to fix it, right? He died on the cross so that God would pass over our judgment of wrath when we believe in Him. And glory to God for that. But we can't understand the fullness of what Jesus did on the cross if we don't understand or know the Old Testament. When we understand the fall, that's when we understand the cross even better. So many people have a wrong picture of who God is because they don't read their Bible. I'm not just talking about the Old Testament, but the New Testament as well. We need to read and understand who God is. And by reading the Old Testament, we will see and understand how faithful God was to an unfaithful people. So many times in the Old Testament you will read about God's loving kindness. He was a very patient God with a very unfaithful people. Sometimes reading the Old Testament can feel overwhelming, but it is so important. For me, it helps getting a greater overview over each book in the Old Testament. And resources like the Bible Project can help you with that. They have great videos that will give you an overview of each book of the Old Testament. Check them out. Take a look at it, because stuff like that can really help you towards understanding the Old Testament better. Get a greater overview of the Old Testament, get to know it, get to understand the context of the whole Bible. And when you get to understand the context of the whole Bible, you will understand more of who God truly is. It's so important. With that, live bold, speak truth, show love.
Oh, hey. So we brought you to this side of the camera because we're looking for leaders. We created this 12-week study guide for leaders, and this is the handbook. So you'll notice in our YouTube series, we have our first 12 videos are just the basics of apologetics. And we created this handbook to go with them. So we want small groups to know about this and for leaders to stand up and teach apologetics to them. So we created this for the leaders, and we want to share this resource with you. So if you're interested in leading a small group through evangelism and apologetics training, reach out to us and we will be happy to supply you with one of these. And then the videos are all free on YouTube. Feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to connect with you about apologetics and evangelism.